presented to you by Mount Sinai. I'm your host, Shauna Ryan. Joining us today is Dr. Alexis Colvin. She is the USTA Chief Medical Officer and Associate Professor of Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgeon at the Icahn School of Medicine in the Leni and Peter W Department of Orthopaedic Surgery at the Mount Sinai Hospital. Dr. Colvin, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tennis really is a game of a lifetime, can be enjoyed during any time in your life. What are some of the main benefits of it?
You're right, tennis really is a great sport. It's accessible to all ages. Young people can play it, old people can play it. You can play it as singles, doubles, as a team sport. It's great cardiovascular activity. It's good for flexibility, agility, speed. And on top of that, it builds the foundations of discipline and sportsmanship.
Now, you said it's a great sport to even play at a young age. What are some of the benefits of starting early?
Well, like any sport, the earlier you start it, the better you can potentially become at it. With kids in particular, it's important to start sports or activity at an earlier age. Obesity in children is really becoming an epidemic at this point, so the more we can motivate kids to get outside, the better.
Is there an age that you would suggest is the best time to start the game of tennis?
No, there's no right age for starting tennis. One of the first things we're taught in medical school is that kids are not little adults. So the courts, the balls, the rackets, even the nets are all geared towards kids and their small size, which really helps to facilitate playing tennis in younger kids.
You always hear, and you never know if it's just a myth, that working out too much or being too active when you're young can stunt your growth. It's not good for your muscles or your bones. Is that necessarily true, or is it just about overexertion?
It's a great question. I think it's really a societal problem right now, this sort of pre-professionalization of youth sports. So on the one hand, we want kids to get out and play, but on the other hand, there are also these kids that are really playing 7 days a week the same thing over and over again, and that can really lead to overuse injuries. I think the key is that we want kids to play sports, but it's important to play a variety of sports because you're really going to develop the athlete as a whole. And playing other sports is going to make you better at sports in general.
What do you think is most important for parents to realize or to keep in mind when it comes to their kids and sports like the game of tennis and playing actively?
I think first and foremost, it needs to be fun. Kids are not going to stick with something if it's not fun. So I think that's important. The second thing is, again, it's important to have them not play the same sport over and over again. And so if they play other sports, that's going to help them in terms of building their balance and agility and flexibility. That's only going to make them a better athlete.
Dr. Colvin, thank you so very much for joining us today and helping us see the benefit for our kids to play the game of tennis.
Thanks.
And don't forget, you can check out usopen.org throughout the entire tournament for more great information from the staff at Mount Sinai. Until next time, I'm your host, Shauna Ryan. We'll see you right here on the US Open Health Desk, presented to you by Mount Sinai.